I get a lot of questions of how do I winterize a truck camper? Well, it starts right here. First thing we got to do is drain out all the water, and we use these low water drain valves for that. Opening up these valves is going to drain everything out of the water lines plus the fresh water tank. Now let's empty out the hot water heater. To do this, we're going to pull out the anoid plug. This is an 1 1/16 socket. I replace the anoid plug every year, and this one doesn't look too bad, but I'll probably replace it again. Our fresh water tank, that's empty. Lines have been drained out, and the hot water heater's empty. In theory, this is as far as we should need to go, and this is as far as I went last year. If you've got a camper at home, you may hit that main battery disconnect. Call it good. We're going to go a step further. Last year, like I said, this is all I did, but I was worried come spring that I was going to find a broken line, a broken valve, because there's going to be some residual water that's left in those lines. And it got down to about 60 below zero at its coldest last year. The camper, she stays right outside all year long. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it a step further this year, and we're going to add a little bit of RV antifreeze in there. This is going to protect us a little bit more. Our first step will be bypassing the hot water heater by flipping the valve. We don't want to have any of this antifreeze sitting inside the hot water heater. That's just going to be empty all winter long. Now we need to get this into the lines. The access panel to my water pump and fresh water tanks right here. And I got a hose. This is where I'm going to stick the antifreeze in. Your camper might be a little bit different, but just look around for this hose. It's going to be near the fresh water tank or the water pump. There's a valve down there that we're going to have to turn as well. What that does is instead of pulling water out of the fresh water tank, we're going to pull water out of this hose right here. To make sure that I got the valves in all the right positions, turn the water pump on. Feel the hose, there should be some suction there. Now we can start drawing out of the antifreeze. Watch it go down. Took about a quarter tank before the pump shut off, and that just means the system's pressurized. Now what we got to do is get that antifreeze through all of the fixtures, and we'll do that just turning everything on. We'll get both the cold and hot side. So we ran the faucet until we saw the antifreeze come through. That's when we know we can shut it off. Kitchen is done. We can move into the bathroom. And don't forget about the shower head. Perfect. The last fixture to take care of, it's going to be the shower. Just crack both of the lines, and once we see the pink antifreeze, we know we're good. I have never used this outside shower too much. So that's how I winterize the water portion of my truck camper. $4. Pretty cheap insurance when you consider the cost of replacing a broken water line or valve. Sometimes that stuff can be really tough to get to. But don't be alarmed if you buy this, you put it in your garage and find at 20 below zero this stuff is frozen. It will absolutely freeze. The thing is, this doesn't expand and burst pipes like water does when it freezes. So if you were hoping that I was going to show you a video on how to keep fresh water in your truck camper all winter long, it's not going to happen. Not here in Minnesota anyways. We'll go 4 months, 5 months without seeing above freezing temperatures. We can go weeks on end where the high temps are 15, 20 below zero. It's definitely not warming up today. It's a little chilly. The cost to keep the basement warm in this camper at those temperatures, it just wouldn't be worth it. Hopefully the truck wants to play nice this morning. Cycling the glow plugs a couple of times. Got down to about 25 below last night. The wind's been 30 miles an hour. And that's cold. I picked up a few tips from van lifers on how to do my dishes. Power wash and a spray bottle. This can do all the cleaning you need. So not having water to do the dishes isn't that big of a deal for me, but I do miss not having a hot shower on the weekends. Another tip that I picked up from the van lifers is using these body wipes. It gets the job done. For the toilet situation, the first couple of winters, I was using one of these foldable toilets from Walmart, and I would just set it up here in the kitchen. But I never liked the idea of dropping a deuce right next to the kitchen stove. So I took another tip from the van lifers. So I started using my toilet as a bucket, and I line it with a paper bag, put some paper towels in there. That's where I do the business. When I'm all done, tied in a knot, I got a storage container on the back receiver hitch that I put the sewer hose in. I fill them up with the waste bags. We're good to go. A good tip, don't use any plastic bags. The Walmart ones, they're not going to cut it. I prefer these bags from Menards. They are pretty sturdy. Well, I hope this video was able to answer some of the questions that I get. How do I keep water in the camper all winter long? Well, I winterize it. And that's how. I know that this video is short. It's not my regular camping video, but I'm taking Mandy out for a birthday weekend. I'm not bringing you guys with. So we'll see you again next Tuesday. Until then, be kind, be honest. We'll see you down the road. I'll be honest, I complain a little bit about Minnesota. There's times when this cold weather just seems absolutely relentless. But I will say, sure is beautiful. And there's nobody else out here. It's 20 below zero. Nobody's gonna come walk through these woods. We got this whole entire thing to ourselves. Just awesome.